Hi everyone, and welcome to 164 Diecast. In this video, we're looking at two singles called 1957 Cadillac Eldorado. We're looking at both cars together, as they are the same car, only in two different colors, that were released at the same time by Mattel. The Mattel product number for these cars is 26792. These were part of the first series of adult collector cars released by Mattel and were called Cool Collectibles. They were also known by collectors as Black Box cars due to the black box they came in. The copyright date is 1998, as this was the first year this casting was produced. However, these two cars were released in 2000. This casting was first released in 1999 as part of the Hard Rock Cafe 3-car set, with the Cadillac in that set being painted pink with a white roof. This casting would be released again in 2002 and 2003. The 2002 casting, this is a convertible with the top up, was number 8 of 32 in the 100% Hot Wheels line and was red with a tan roof, while the 2003 casting was a Hard Rock Cafe exclusive sold only online and at Hard Rock Cafe restaurants. This 2003 version was red with a black roof and had flames with a Hard Rock logo tampo. You can find additional information about these two cars here, and information about the entire 2000 Cool Collectibles series here. The Cadillac Eldorado convertible version was called the Biarritz, named after the luxury French resort town, to distinguish it from the Eldorado Seville hardtop coupe. It was near the very top of Cadillac's product line and came standard with many luxury features. It was a low-volume car with only 1,800 units produced, making it quite rare and desirable today. An interesting fact is this convertible cost almost half of what the hardtop cost. 1957 Eldorados had unique styling, featuring a very distinct downswept rear fender line capped by pointed inboard tail fins. This look is often referred to as chipmunk cheeks and is what clearly sets the 57 and 58 models apart from other Cadillacs of the era. They sported broad, sculptured beauty panels on the lower rear quarters, unique full-length body sill highlights, and gold-tone Eldorado lettering and emblems. The front featured Cadillac's signature gold anodized egg crate grille. The Eldorado Biarritz was equipped with the high-performance version of Cadillac's V8 engine at 365 cubic inches, or 6.0 liters, with 325 horsepower, which was 20 horsepower more than the standard Cadillac V8. It featured dual 4-barrel carburetors, and a 4-speed hydromatic automatic transmission was standard. The car had an all-new chassis, which allowed the body to sit lower, improving its visual stance. The wheelbase was 129.5 inches. As a flagship model, the Biarritz came loaded with luxury and convenience features, including a power-operated convertible top, power steering and power brakes, power windows and power front seat, often 4-way, and a leather interior, often buffalo grain leather. A few extremely rare examples were also optioned with air conditioning, which was an expensive and unusual option on a convertible at the time. The 1957 Cadillac Eldorado hardtop was meant to be a competitor to the British Rolls-Royce, and actually cost more than a Rolls-Royce at its introduction. It was obviously a wealthy person's car. Unlike in today's car market, the convertible Biarritz was cheaper than the hardtop version and was slightly more attainable to the masses. However, limited runs of each car still made these cars hard to get, and also results in them being highly sought after in today's collector car market. So, I hope you enjoyed our look back at the 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz convertible. And, as always, thank you for stopping by 164 Diecast. And we will see you on the next video.